monsoon. They're all the fine indicators, and we know the signs, we know the strategies, we know the cost involved. So now crores and crores of rupees invested on wrongdoings. Earlier, I was saying people were trying to aerate the flowing waters. When you don't give the contact hours, definitely even the nascent oxygen or the algae or the chemical agent will not work. If you don't give the sufficient contact hour for the chemical agent to work on said pathogen or said chemical. So indicators are consciously ignored. So anyway, the lakes basically, if it's a old lake, and people are trying to rejuvenate some of the lakes, my dear friends, take it from me, to become a complete ecosystem, self-sustained ecosystem, it might take 15 to 20 years. Even if you have started regenerating the lake, don't expect the results at the earliest. For the complete ecosystem and a habitat to be established, it takes 15 to 20 years. So if they are left without affecting the lakes, in fact, they can manage themselves. Unfortunately, we have blocked all their Raja Kalways, waterways. People are trying to deepen the ponds or reveating the side walls with stone pitching, but without understanding the waterways, without understanding the no the nutrient influx, what was there 30 years ago, 50 years ago, just an impoundment water, you cannot manage. Anyway, I'll come back to that later. So in pond system, normally you find 3 to 4 trophic levels, whereas in marine ecosystem, you may find 5 to 6 trophic levels. But if you don't tackle the issues at all trophic levels, because most of the things are happening at the bottom of the pyramid. People are talking about fish, people are talking about trees, birds, but it is happening from the phytoplankton side, saprophytic food chain side. If you don't tackle those issues at the bottom, at trophic level 4, you cannot manage. So you need to understand the entire biomass in an undisturbed situation. Hypothetically, you have to understand the actual biomass which a particular lake can sustain, and ecological efficiency and pyramid of energy flow. So when we understand this, we need to understand the numbers, biomass, and carbon dioxide production. That is the energy that it can produce. Accordingly, we need to change the ecosystem. Without understanding that, just talking of fish, without understanding the base material, parent material of the soil, without understanding the primary producers in the bottom, predominant diatoms, predominant phytoplankton, zooplankton, and their energy levels, tackling at the top definitely will not work to regenerate any of the lakes. So in that context, we need to understand the number, energy, biomass, and restructure the entire habitat. And it might take 10 years. We need to have patience to see the results. So ultimately, the principles of lake management cannot be written in indelible ink. Each of the lake, we need to come out with different strategy. A strategy which is applied for Jakkur or Belandur cannot be applied for Hebbal Lake, because they are in totally different agroecological situation, different watershed, different micro watershed, and the nutrient influx, the activities in the agrarian area, catchment area. Now, of course, there is no agricultural activities in the catchment, it is just domestic sewage. If you don't understand the gross primary productivity of a lake at present and net primary productivity, and understand the maximum carrying capacity, you cannot alter, you cannot come out with the strategies to change unless you know this. Look at this primary productivity. See, blue is water and green is terrestrial based, and most productive are swamps and marshes. But people thought these swamps and wetlands were waste, and started filling and constructing the buildings, layouts. And most of the lakes were taken, converted into layouts in Bangalore. Wherever you find a flooding during small rains, they were the lakes. So people ignored these wetlands. They're the septic tanks. They're the place where lot of heavy metals was absorbed. But most of the wetlands, forget about the lakes, the wetlands adjacent to the lakes were blocked, filled with debris, soil, and now all of the chemical pollutants are straight away getting into the aquatic system. So the open ocean is the least productive. Look at this, the productive areas. What I'm trying to stress is swamps and marshes. Wetlands are the most productive, about 10,000 kilocalories per meter square per year. But we have vanished them. See, some of the group of scientists have worked on the plankton dominance in the entire year with time and space, and they've mapped like this for each and every lake. We need to understand the dominance of plankton diversity, and their abundance. Accordingly, we need to restructure the diversity. And it is animated. I don't know it's no, working or not. It exactly changes with time. In 365 days, compressed in 1 minute, you will understand how the earth breathes and earth exhales oxygen. And believe me, most of the oxygen we consume, it is not from the terrestrial plants. 60 to 70% comes from the oceans, marine ecosystems, and the ponds, because these phytoplankton, they produce more oxygen, not the terrestrial plants. But unfortunately, many of the stakeholders, they think they are not connected to ocean, they are not connected to lakes, but they are the service providers for the entire humankind in terms of oxygen. See, I see microscope every day, and these are the diatoms, plankton. If you look at the array of plankton which was there earlier, now they are not there. And for a very small change in temperature, chemical parameters, biological parameters, they die very soon because their life cycle is only 20 to 27 days. If you can understand this plankton, you can serve the entire humanity in terms of fish, in terms of global warming, in terms of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. But unfortunately, people are trying to tackle the issues from a wrong angle. If you can understand the plankton, their diversity, their fluctuation, their dynamics, most of the problems can be solved. Anyway, this is the food chain. I don't say food chain. People understand only the small chains, but in a pond ecosystem, you have to understand the food web actually, not the food chain. Food chain is very simple. And Sutherland Elton said, 90% of the energy will be utilized at each trophic level. Only 10% goes to the next level. But if you can understand the energy produced at each trophic level, if you can manipulate, you can maximize the energy availability at the trophic 4, that is in terms of fish, we can maximize it. Hypothetically said, it is around 10% goes to the next level. It may be 16 or it may be 8. So you need to understand this energy availability, utilization, transfer. If you can understand that, you can maximize the production, and of course you can maintain the well-being of the lake. So major sources of pollutants, you know it, metal processing, most of the companies all around the peri-urban area, they are printing the mobile circuits. After printing, they wash off their plates, and completely heavy metals are getting into the system. But none of them have the electrolyte plating method to extract the heavy metals. Garment washings, deadly and dangerous, and automobiles and greases, that is from the surface runoff. All of these are getting into the lakes, Rajakalways, and the rivers. And status of the lakes, see the discharge standards and the status, and most of the lakes, 99% of the lakes, they don't have the required standards. They are polluted. Even if you start acting on it, it might take 5 to 10 years. So adverse impacts, depletion of natural water resources, agriculture productivity, already it has gone. And believe me, my friends, we have 150 million hectares of agricultural land, and we are producing 292 million tons of food every year. In spite of that, 20 crores of people are suffering from hunger. Our target is to produce 350 million tons of food by 2025. But decrease of the agriculture productivity, not only in Bangalore, in the outskirts, loss of habitat and biodiversity, and most of the birds are gone. Earlier, many birds used to come to the Hebbal Lake, and they have planted all the exotic plants. Such birds, the migratory birds, cannot identify and be compatible with the exotic plants, and now they are not there. And bioaccumulation is the serious issue. You find DDT in the mother's milk, egg. Likewise, bioaccumulation from one trophic level to another, it is detrimental, and groundwater is contaminated. In Helanka, because of some of the industries, the entire groundwater is contaminated with chromium. Soil pollution already polluted, and spread of diseases. I will tell you the spread of diseases because of this. What? Because the pathogens are plenty in aquatic media than in the air. So spread of disease is very fast through liquid media, and occurrence of new disease. I will tell you very soon, like because of the endosulfan, some of the reasons the kids are, they're born with the many ailments. Likewise, even in Bangalore, the kidney problem, liver problem, and other ailments will become a serious issue, and eco balance is affected. And I will tell you, these mechanical weed harvesters, yesterday I saw 60% of the Hebbal Lake is covered with water hyacinth. I will tell you, water hyacinth is good to some extent to extract eliminate some of the metals. But in Dal Lake, they've employed these weed harvesters. Within 2 3 hours, it can harvest hectares of weed. And in northeast region, people are using Icarnia for producing different articles using the jute. Likewise, I'm just thinking one of you can start, like in Varanasi, a group of people from IIT Kanpur, they have started, they are collecting 8 to 10 tons of marigold and other flower waste, and they are producing, they're extracting astaxanthin, and they're using that flower base for agarbatti base, and in the brand name of pool they're selling, and it's a multi-crore business. Likewise, if one of you can harvest these water hyacinth, pistia, and other floating subbud weeds, you can prepare compost. Compost is 12 to vermicompost, I'm talking about 12 to 15 rupees, and or you can copy the good things from Varanasi people, use this as agarbatti base, or produce some of the articles like the Northeast people are doing. And the compost is very costly. I will tell you, you are getting rice for 1 rupee, but compost is 12 to 15 rupees. Cow dung is sometimes it is 128 rupees. So likewise, you can compost it, sell it, or you can use it as agarbatti base, or I will tell you the another new concept. In Dal Lake, very recently I visited the entire 16 kilometers of dia. They're using 4 5 wheat cutters. But these definitely farmers or the community cannot invest on these gadgets. The exchequer, the government must, or BBMP can buy this, or facility department or lake development authority. Now it's not there, it's merged with minor irrigation, and they can give it on rent for the lease owners of a lake or reservoir. And I'm very happy. I met Mr. Anand Malik Wad, who has rejuvenated Kalasnalli Lake, Bangalore. And of course, he did it in a best of way he can. But still, water is clear. They have stocked some fishes without understanding the biodiversity. of the particular region. Just by stocking some edible fish will not help. So anyway, while I appreciate all his efforts and he has done wonderful work in rejuvenating one of the lakes and looks good. But in most of the lakes, LDA, they've escaped all the fertile land and transported to some other place. They have stoned pitch, they have made some islands and planted some exotic plants. That is not the lake rejuvenation program. They have not understood the entire biology and the biodiversity. So anyway, most of the lakes were polluted even in African countries. One of the person who has invented this straw to drink, drinking water straw. By the time water travels through this 1 feet gadget, it filters. So maybe very soon we may have to use this. Anyway, so now I want to now if the entire tanks are dried and dried for many years, I don't have anything to say. If they're holding water, on a continual basis, you need to understand the native fish stock. Accordingly, we need to have the breeding program and you have to stock. You cannot, because exotic means not necessarily beyond the political region, because fishes don't understand the political boundaries. If you stock the carps, Katla, Rohu, Mrigal, who are from the Gangetic region, they are also exotic to peninsular India. They may not eat our fishes, but they eat away the food of our fishes. That's why even Indian major carps are exotic to peninsular India. In that context, we need to understand the fauna based on the grassroots knowledge information. We need to understand the native fish species. This is what the new thing we need to understand. For any lake, we need to understand if the present richness index, okay, the based on the hypothetic models, we can predict the past richness index of a given tank. Simpson index, this index gives the probability that two individuals drawn at random sample. Total richness index means the total number of species. Shannon Winner index, this is rarity and commonness, yield diversity. All these biodiversity parameters need to be applied to understand the lake biodiversity, and accordingly we need to plan. But tank management, it's not just pollutant management, it is not depth, it is not some of the biological parameters, it is the biological entity we need to understand from the plankton and the fish. So threats to biodiversity, we have introduced tilapia and African catfish accidental intentional stocking has happened, and you cannot eradicate these two species for lifetime. So phase wise, by wise stocking, right composition, right ratio, right proportion, we can eliminate them with time. And already the fish kill has become a common issue, like EUS, episodic ulcerative syndrome, and gill choking, bacterial diseases, and last speaker said at times the oxygen level goes beyond 30 mg per liter. Even oxygen is detrimental. Even because of supersaturation, fish will die, and pollution. So possible remedial measures, advanced oxidation process. It is not for the lake I'm talking. It is for the industrial area, maybe apparel park at Dulbarapur or wherever. I'm sorry, Pina. I'm referring to Bangalore because I am working in Bangalore, or any other industrial area in the entire country. If they can have advanced oxidation process, they can recover all the heavy metals, and it can be disposed safely. Sewage treatment, yes, there are plants. I don't know. I've not seen them working. They've invested huge amount of money, and I've not seen them working. I'm sorry. Fight on bioremediations. See, we can tell the people to adopt a lake, adopt a river, and through say 1 kilometer of river or some hectares of lakes can be adopted by some of the people, and we can go for fight on bioremediation so that some of the intensity can be minimized. Silt traps, yes, Jekku Lake I've seen, also Lake, very beautifully they have implemented these traps and they are working effectively. But silt traps for all waterways and Rajakalways, not just at the point where the water reaches lake. At all interventions, for every 500 meters, we need to have silt traps, aeration, vigorous aeration, and biocompressed gas. One of the companies in Bangalore, they're trying to use the municipal waste, and they're trying to come out with biocompressed gas. Even in Bangalore, there are 20 different spots where they are disposing all the solid waste. By having a fair MOU with them, one can invest and produce biocompressed gas, which is very environmental friendly. Restoration and conservation. Conservation, anyway, it has gone, and restoration is the only way. Education, it's happening now, and policy and practice. On paper, we find better policies, but I don't know, practice, it's a bigger issue. So restoration ecology, people have restored lakes, forest, and this uh, should become a movement. And restoration, people have tried and trying. I'm very happy. My institute is very happy to join hands to give the technical inputs. Remediation, through phytoremediation, bioremediation. This kind of strategies, very recently I discussed with one of the MPs of Bangalore Urban, and they have agreed to put up different structures for phytoremediations to clean the Bailamangala lake. Okay. So now
Sir,
simple tools.
I'm sorry. Would you like to take questions now, or
No,
do we
later,
keep
later,
it for later?
later.
Sure, sure, sir.
See, simple structures. I have not seen these types of filters at the drain. Very simple structures will solve the major issues, and these, we need to tell the BBMP and such other public work department to have the simple drainage system and periodic cleaning of these drains. And this is the phytoremediation strategies using Eichhornia, Pistia, and there are some grasses where the roots will go 3 times, 4 times longer than their height. So using these kinds of, when we make the water to flow through different channels at different strata, when we expand the length of flow, it will reduce the heavy metal contamination. And I just saw it in the net, and very nice concept. All our drains should be fitted with this kind of nets, so that we can collect all the plastic waste, silt traps in also Lake. And real time, I know, morning I was discussing with one of the IoT people from BIT, and very soon they're coming out with one single gadget where with which you can measure 9 to 10 parameters. And for ocean water monitoring, in many countries people are doing. Even in Mangalore region, we have in situ measuring bios, but not all the parameters, only 3, 4, like DO, carbon dioxide, salinity, temperature. So this is what I was referring to. Using the waste in the lake, you should be able to sell water hyacinth, which is with flower, in a nice ceramic bowl. Make the community to sell the flowers for 200 rupees, 300 rupees. I sold pistia for rupees 10 each. I used the button rose for arranging the welcome bowl, and I sold it at the rate of rupees 10 pistia. And pool, I told you, in Kashi, people are recycling the entire flower waste and producing the agarbattis. And monitoring and gadgets, yes, they are there. It has to happen. I told you already, enough science is already known. We need to implement them. Bio CNG in Mangalore plant is coming in another 3 months. It will be, start producing the bio CNG gas. And heavy metal recovery. Already, I spoke to IIT Mumbai and such other experts. Science is there already. Only thing is, if each individual small industry, if they want to establish this very not economically viable for the entire industrial area, one common facilities, so that all the waste water will pass through that and recovers all the said metals. So what we can do now, this is my final message on rainwater harvesting structures for all new constructions. Filters at different points and level sill traps, slow sand filters, deep trenches at every 1 kilometer of the river as a sill trap, PPP model for water recycling, water treatment, and I am just insisting the government to have environmental rejuvenation cess for all the end users, corporate research and environmental rejuvenation fund, adapt a river program, river adapting program, bioremediation, heavy metal recovery, water treatment plants, aquaponics. And after doing aquaponics, you don't have to eat the produce, just recycle it and you can dispose it safely. Filter beds, plastic and glass readers, I told you already, plant trees along the rivers. And let us act, support right politicians and lawmakers, speak up in your community, follow the guidelines, carpooling, transport, cycling, refuse plastic. Read 3 R's, the fourth R is refuse. Use of energy efficient gadgets, plant trees, renewable energy sources, and believe, if you believe in prayer, pray God so that you'll get greater courage to change. So I see a lot of works, lot of rejuvenation programs happening. Okay. And let us have very specific, without any specific objectives, measurable objectives, achievable objectives, we cannot change. And let's have the smart strategy to change the things. And it's not too late to be optimistic. Let's work together.
It's 16 hours.
Thank you very much.